Dear students, in the last class we have studied about the few important properties of metals and non-metals. Which are the properties we have studied, children? Metals have luster, metals can be drawn into wires, ductility property, they can beat into sheets, the malleable property, they are good conductors of heat and electricity, and their melting point and boiling point are very high except sodium and potassium, which are very soft. On other hands, these qualities we won't found, these properties we won't found in non-metals, but there are exceptions like graphite, carbon allotrope, it's a good conductor of electricity. Diamond, non-metals usually soft, but diamond is the hardest substance you can see. So here and there some exceptions are there, but these are the properties which I listed as the important properties of metals. Today we will learn some of other chemical properties of metals, like how they behave with oxygen or water and acids. First, if you take how the metals will react with oxygen. Now, if you consider the students, do all the students have the same nature? No. Some are very active, some are slow, some are very quiet, etc. You can find the difference in the behavior of the students. In the same manner, if you consider different metals like sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, aluminium, iron, zinc, there are so many metals we will use in our day-to-day life. Now, how they behave with oxygen or atmospheric air and how it react with water and acids, that we will learn one by one. First, we will learn the reaction of metals with the air or oxygen. So, with the oxygen, metals reaction with the oxygen. So, we will take metal plus oxygen, what we will get? Guess it, children? What will get? Metals react with oxygen, you will get metallic oxides. You will get metallic oxides. Here, some metals I said react with vigorously, just if you keep it outside, especially the sodium or potassium metal which is stored under kerosene, because they are highly reactive metals compared to other metals, they will even catch fire. Immediately they will react with oxygen and it is an exothermic reaction, and here while they will react, it forms, even it will vigorously react, small, it may catch fire. So, usually you have to take care while handling with sodium and potassium. They are very, very reactive. Violently the reaction takes place. Now, what about other metals? So, the other metals you need to heat it to a particular temperature, then only it catch fire. Like magnesium, you have to heat that metal, then it will burn brilliantly and you will get magnesium oxide. But some metals you have to heat much very high temperature. Sometimes the metals will not react at all. If you heat also, they won't react, like gold, silver, etc. Even by heating, they won't react with the oxygen. Okay. Now, I will show you just one example of burning of magnesium, because you have to heat this one and you can see the very good flame of burning of. I have taken the magnesium ribbon here. So, we will heat it now. You have to heat it and see what you will, because we have to raise the temperature, then only the reaction takes place. You can see burning of this magnesium with brilliant flame. and when it burns, you will get the white ash. You will get the white ash here. White ash you will get, it is nothing but magnesium oxide. So, when metal plus oxygen we will get metal oxide. I have already written, sorry children. So, here copper, one example, if you heat it, you will get copper oxide. Oxygen always we have to write O2. Now we have to balance it. Oxygen 2 here, here 1 atom of oxygen. So to make it 2, here 2, I have to write 2 into 1. 1 here, 1 we won't write. So here also 2 here. Copper 2, so you have to write here 2. You have to balance it. If you take magnesium, just now we did the reaction burning with the oxygen, magnesium, you will get magnesium oxide. So here also you have to balance it, 2 atoms of magnesium, because oxygen you have to make 2. If you write 2 here, magnesium become 2, and oxygen is 2, magnesium is 2, it is balanced, magnesium oxide. And if it is aluminium, aluminium plus oxygen, you will get aluminium oxide, Al2O3, aluminium oxide. Here, usually when you use the utensils in our houses, aluminium if you use, it will have good luster because metals have luster, but after using some time, it will lose slight its shining nature. What is the reason? Do you know, children? Because aluminium will react without heating. Slowly it will react with oxygen present in air, and there will be formation of aluminium oxide on the outer surface. And this aluminium oxide will prevent further reaction of oxygen. It is a very resistive oxygen. Aluminium oxide is the resist to other reactions. It forms a very protective layer around the outer surface of aluminium container, whatever aluminium material you will take, and it will protect it. So that is the layer which will make it lose this slight luster of aluminium oxide. Okay, and if you heat copper, it won't catch fire immediately. If you have copper utensil in your house, in the permission of your parent, in presence, you can heat it. It will turns little black color, its outer surface become black color, because copper when react with oxygen, copper oxide, it is a black color oxide, copper oxide is a black color oxide. So black color surface you can see the outer surface of the copper article. Okay. Now, what is the nature of this metallic oxide? When metals react with oxygen, I said you will get metallic oxide. What is the nature? Are they acidic in nature or basic in nature or neutral? What you need is, when they burn, they will give the metallic oxide. You have to take it in a water, dissolve it, and by using litmus paper, it will change the color of the litmus paper. By that we can test metal oxide is basic in nature or acidic in nature. It is found that they have basic in nature. The metal oxides are basic in nature. So, if you take some of the all metallic oxide will not dissolve, children, in water, but sodium oxide and potassium oxide, they will dissolve very nicely in water. in water, forming the alkali, the bases, sodium hydroxide. It forms the base, very strong base, sodium hydroxide, because this sodium oxide will dissolve in water, forming the base. So they have basic in nature. So you have to balance it, 2 hydrogen. So if you write oxygen 1 here, oxygen, so 2 you can write here. So 1 oxygen here, 1 oxygen, totally 2. So by writing 2, 2 into 1, oxygen become 2, and sodium is 2 here. So sodium become 2, and hydrogen is also 2, 2 into 1, 2 it is. So it is balanced, sodium hydroxide, a base, sodium hydroxide. It is a base, alkali. Same manner, if we take potassium oxide, it will dissolve fairly in water, forming potassium hydroxide. So they are good bases, strong bases. But all the other metals, you cannot say they will react or they will dissolve fairly in water. Now, here again exception is there. Do all the metallic oxides are basic in nature? No. Aluminium oxide, Al2O3, as well as zinc oxide, these 2 oxides, they have exception. Now, what is the change they will do? What is the difference property they have? This aluminium oxide, since it is, I said, the base and acid, they will react to form salt and water. That is the reaction, neutralization reaction we have studied in acid base lessons. Now, if they have basic in nature, they should react with the acid to produce salt and water. Okay. Now, if you take aluminium oxide, it will react with acid as well as base. That is the different property this aluminium oxide possesses. If it is basic in nature, it should react with only acid. So metal oxides usually react with acids to produce salt and water because they have basic in nature, alkaline nature, right? But here aluminium oxide and zinc oxide, these 2 oxides, metallic oxides, they not only react with acid, they also react with base similar to your acid to give salt and water. So these 2 oxides, they are called amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides. Now, you know the meaning of amphibians in biology. Frog is an example for amphibian because it will react, it will live both on the land and in the water. Amphibian it is called. Same manner, this oxide, aluminium oxide and zinc oxide, they are amphoteric oxides because they will react with acid and they will react with the base. Both it will react, acid and base, to form salt and water. It will react with hydrochloric acid, form aluminium chloride plus water, and it also react with the base, aluminium oxide, NaOH, base we will take. It will react with the base to form sodium aluminium oxide. Salt, sodium aluminium oxide. So sodium aluminium oxide, we won't say, we will say aluminate. This salt is called sodium aluminate. It is aluminium. What is this compound, children? Aluminium chloride, salt. So aluminium chloride salt will form. Here sodium aluminate salt is formed. So salt and water, it is acid, it is base. So that's the reason it is called amphoteric oxide. Same in case of zinc oxide. Now you have to balance it, children. Aluminium is 2 here, so you have to write 2 here, aluminium. When you write 2 there, 2 3s are 6, chlorine become 2 3s are 6, so you have to write chlorine is here, here it is 1, so you have to write 6 here to balance Then if I write 6 here, hydrogen becomes 6 into 1, 6 atoms, but here hydrogen atom is 2. So how to make 6, which number I should write, so that when you multiply this, you should get 6. What I should write? 3 I should write. 3 2s are 6. So hydrogen is also balanced. Now if you write 3, what about oxygen? Only one atom of oxygen. So 1 here, 3 1s are 3. So oxygen become 3 here. Here also oxygen number is 3. Okay. In this way we have to, any reaction you have to write balanced reaction. Okay. And here also you can try aluminum again 2 here, here it is 1, you write 2 here, but if you write 2 here, sodium become 2 ones of 2, here it is 1. So like this way you have to write it and balance it. That is about the amphoteric oxide. Now, how the metals react with the oxygen? So, we cannot say by the reaction of metals with oxygen, this is very active, this is not active. So, we cannot judge immediately the reactivity of metals. We have to see these metals, how they react with water and other some compounds, then only at last we can come to one conclusion that this metal is very active, then little less is this one. So that we have to make one reactivity series with the metals, that we will do later, or they already prepared and given, we will see later. Now next one, the reaction of metals with the water. Again here also, all the metals will not react in the same manner with water. Some metals like sodium and potassium, how they react very vigorously in air, the same manner they will react even with cold water. Not water with the room temperature, just to take cold water and take one small piece of sodium, vigorously it will react, giving out hydrogen gas. You can hear the hissing noise of that liberating hydrogen gas, and it will move very fast, this sodium dissolve in water forming sodium hydroxide. But if it is an exothermic reaction, or in some cases if you take in this reaction, since it is vigorously takes place, that is due to heat energy, as it is an exothermic reaction, the heat energy is sufficient to make the hydrogen gas. It is a good fuel or oxidizing agent, so it will catch fire and it will burn. So we have to take much carefully how to do this experiment, because usually this is difficult. Sodium I have, it is stored in kerosene. So I will take one very small piece. You cannot be able to see it, the reaction, but I will show the liberation of this gas, hydrogen gas. Okay, I won't take much big piece, small piece of sodium I have taken. I will put it in water, this one. Okay. Can you see? I will put one more piece, little bigger I will use. Can you see? Smoke is coming and movement here. See here. Here it is becoming small and small, disappearing. This one small piece is there. Whether you can able to see or not, I don't know, children. That one small piece that is disappearing, sodium. I will try one more piece. You see properly. Here it can see. See, smoke is, this is hydrogen gas is coming out. Okay, you can hear the sound, and it is becoming small and small. Sodium metal becoming small and small and dissolving as sodium hydroxide. Okay, I don't know how many of you can see in the class. here, as I said, sodium is very active metal plus water, you will get metal hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Usually metal when react with the water, it will give metal hydroxide liberating hydrogen gas. Now, as I said, sodium and potassium, it will react even with cold water. So, under water also we won't store the very reactive element sodium. Air it will react, cannot keep it outside. If you keep it in water, water also it will react. So, usually this very highly reactive metal sodium is preserved under kerosene. Now, the metal like magnesium, if you or calcium, if you put it in water at room temperature, slowly it will react with the water, calcium. Okay, and this is the hydrogen gas. It won't react with this given out calcium, whatever it is. Just slowly it will react with the water, liberating hydrogen gas, forming calcium hydroxide. And for magnesium, you need to heat the water. Just by room temperature water, it won't react magnesium metal. You have to boil the water, you have to heat the water. In the warm water only, magnesium react with water, forming magnesium oxide, liberating hydrogen gas. What about other metals like iron or aluminium, etc.? Will they react with warm water? No. You need to produce steam. Steam is needed. That high temperature only, then they may react with this water, but they won't form hydroxide, they form oxide. Iron oxide it forms, or aluminium oxide it forms, but it won't form hydroxide. Only the metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, and to some extent magnesium, they form hydroxide in water. But all the metals when react with water, one gas is given out, that is hydrogen gas. So, if we write the reaction with the sodium metal with the water, you will get the hydroxide, sodium hydroxide plus the gas liberated is hydrogen gas. Is it balanced, children? Here how many hydrogen? Here 2, here it is a 1, 3 you will have. So, I will write it 2 here, so that it is easy for me to balance. I will write it 2 here. What I will get then? Then I will get 2 into 1. Hydrogen is 1 here. 1 we won't write. 2 into 1 is 2. Here 2 hydrogen. Here 2 hydrogen. Totally how many hydrogen? 2 plus 2, 4. But here I have only 2 hydrogen. To balance it, I have to write it here 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 hydrogen, it is balanced. By writing 2, how many oxygen it will change here? Here 1, so 2 into 1. So, in the reactant side, I have 2 oxygen atom, and in the product side, I have again 2 into 1, 2 oxygen atom. It should be same number in the reactants and in the product. Then how many sodium atom I have? Here 1, but I have to, it is 2 here in the product, so I should write 2 here. So, this is now balanced reaction. Okay. Now, here hydrogen gas is liberated vigorously, that is reaction takes place. Now, if you take calcium, but it will the reaction is very slow, you will get calcium hydroxide. This is sodium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. This is hydrogen gas. So, calcium hydroxide you will get, and hydrogen gas is liberated again here. So, try to balance this. Okay. But if we take iron and water, here take steam you have to take. You have to take a steam here. You will get iron oxide, Fe3O4 plus hydrogen gas is liberated. You won't get hydroxide here. You will get iron oxide and hydrogen gas. But what you have to take? Water you have to take in the form of steam. Then only it will react, and that reaction is given in your textbook. Children, in page number, you can try to draw this diagram. They are given one simple experiment, that is figure 3.3, action of steam on metal. They have taken iron here in a test tube, then they have heated this water taken in a glass bowl, and steam will come here, react with this, and this hydrogen gas for testing they have taken, collected in the test tube. That is the metal when react with the steam, that is the reaction. And you have learned that when metals react with acids, you learn in acid lesson, what will get, children? What will get? We will get the corresponding chloride or sulfate or nitrate. That will get salt, plus we will get which gas? Hydrogen gas. Again, when metals react with acids, we will get a hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is liberated. That we studied in acid lessons, how acids will react with metals. And there we have studied here sodium, potassium is it is very active metal, and when metal react with the acids, it is an exothermic reaction, and hydrogen gas is given out, so immediately it will catch fire. It is so vigorous that it is not at all advisable to do this reaction, because very danger it is when sodium and potassium, here also they are, since they are very reactive metals, they react immediately, vigorously, it may catch fire, and it is not advisable to always don't do the reaction of the potassium or sodium with the acids. Okay, and if you take the other metals like magnesium, zinc, etc., it will react with the dilute acids. If you take hydrochloric acid, you will get metallic chlorides. Or if you take this one, which one? Zinc, sulfuric acid. If you take dilute sulfuric acid, metals will give sulfate, but it usually with the nitric acid, metals won't react. The copper will react with the nitric acid, and you won't get hydrogen gas there, you will get water, because nitric oxide is a good oxidizing agent. It will react with hydrogen forming water. So in that case you won't get hydrogen gas is not liberated with nitric acid. But if you take dilute sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, metals will react with them. Here also reaction varies. Some will react vigorously and some will liberate hydrogen gas slowly. So that is about the nature of metals. With today we have studied with the oxygen, water and acids. Here if you compare all this here, the metals like potassium and sodium, they are the topmost. Potassium is the topmost reactive metal, then comes sodium, then comes calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, etc. And here if you take the gold and silver or platinum, even some of the reactions copper, it won't usually react with water or oxygen or air. Okay, but what they did is gold, even with the acid it won't react, gold and silver, but the mixture of two acids, strong acids, hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, in the ratio 3:1, it is, if you have taken, it is a fuming, it fumes will come, it is very two strong acids. If you mix it, you will get aqua regia, and this, in this one gold will dissolve. Only in this one gold will dissolve, but in any other water or the other nitric, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, gold and silver will not at all react. Okay, so that is about the reactivity of the metals that they are given in a textbook. We'll go through that once again, and some of the chemical properties like how the two salts of metals react, and some other more information regarding metals we'll learn in the next class. Thank you, children.